Hi everybody, welcome to the Scott Show and the Monday Night Raw review. My name is Scott, of course, so I am here to talk about what happened on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. Now, I know that you guys will get a lot of different things when you look up on YouTube, especially if you go to tinyurl.com/The Scott Show. That is our YouTube link. So like, share, subscribe on there, send all your comments. Anything that you can do for us, that'd be awesome. I know there's a lot of stuff out there about wrestling, but this is the only one that has the Scott Show's name on it. So you want to listen to the Scott Show and have a great time with us, and I thank you for that. So here we are. They are in Phoenix, Arizona at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. I believe they will be at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on Friday for SmackDown. So now we know which one is a little bit more the A show than the B show. But they are in Phoenix. They have Pyro. Really awesome. Great stuff. Vic Joseph, the new voice of Monday Night Raw, along with Jerry Lawler and Dio Madden. I've never heard of Dio Madden before. I didn't think he did a terrible job. So there you go. Mysterio comes out, and you're like, hey, we're going to get the match, we're going to get the title match right away, get that out of the way. But he comes out in street clothes. So, it's going to be a promo. It's promo time for Ray. And Ray talks about his chance at the Universal Championship, shows Dominic sitting inside, and then I called it, folks. And I don't think I called it on the show here, but as I was watching it, I called it. I said Brock is going to come out and destroy Rey Mysterio. And guess what? You hear the familiar music of Brock Lesnar. Brock comes out and just viciously destroys Rey. The funny part to me was when Brock grabbed the microphone from Rey, and then Rey took the microphone back, and that was not smart on Mr. Mysterio's side, as Lesnar just lifts him up like, his lunch, and just kills him. The fans were chanting asshole to Brock, and then he saw Dominic Mysterio. He picked Dominic Mysterio out of the crowd, just like he was picking a grape. Threw him around. It looked like at one point he was going to drop him, or however it was going to work. It looked like it was going to be an F5, but I don't know if it was Dominic's fault, or if it was just Lesnar, or if there was just an issue with how they were going to or do whatever. But he rammed him into the ring post instead. Both of the Mysterios just got viciously violated, as I would use the terms from Paul Heyman. So, that's what happened. Brock just murdered everybody, and that's how it goes. I also thought that this would set up Brock versus Seth Rollins on the show. It did not. However, Seth Rollins has another opponent, because Mysterio not going to make it. So, we'll see at the end of this show what happens. Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. I thought this match was going to be a lot bigger than it turned out to be. I am a huge fan of the goddess Alexa Bliss. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Sasha Banks. I think that Sasha's lost a little bit of clout with me. That's what happens when you don't get enough sleep. You yawn on the air. And it's live, so what the hell can I do? So anyway, Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, that happened. I was really excited to see the match. I was really excited to see the fireworks for Bliss. It was really cool. Now, also the Man came out, Becky Lynch, to do some commentary, kind of interrupting the proceedings. I did not think that, seeing that the match was going to happen on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I did not really expect it was going to go well for Alexa, but I figured, hey, it's still going to be good. It was not, and a really cool finish, though, where she calls for Bayley to come out, and they were just suckering Alexa Bliss. So I hope that they do something with Alexa Bliss. Hopefully the women's titles are defended on Raw. If you want to make SmackDown the best show possible on Friday night, you bring out the women's champions. You say, hey, we don't have a match for Hell in a Cell. You bring out the Iconics, and you set up the match. Bliss and Cross against the Iconics for the titles. 2 out of 3 falls, 60-minute time limit, and they get to talk all the way through it. I wouldn't care. I would love that. I'd just go crazy. But it is going to be Sasha and Becky in the cell this weekend. So next match was Heavy Machinery versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I thought, man, we're going to get a title change here. You know, premiere of the show, where Otis and Tucker are quite over. Excuse me, I thought we were going to get that title change. However, we didn't. The one thing that really kind of ticked me off is that Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler came out to the ring, and then they had a whole bunch of breaks and announcer things, and they brought out The Rock, and you know, they have these 2 guys just standing out there right in front of the crowd. I mean, how bad does that look? Come on. They could have put Heavy Machinery out there, but no, they put the tag team champions. How silly is that? Now, we did not get the title change I was supposing, but Tucker and Otis did look good. Roode and Ziggler win the match. I wonder what they're going to do with this, and hope to God they do not throw together a tag team again and make the division look like crap. I think they should just feed them to the Viking Raiders, honestly. But, whatever. So, Flair, Hogan, and Jimmy Hart are backstage. I wonder what's going to happen next. What is going to happen next is The Miz comes out with Miz TV. He does talk about how his second daughter was born. Congratulations to The Miz and Maurice, by the way. You know, they deserve all of the awesome stuff they can get in the world. Miz is a great artiste of wrestling and acting ability. So they have Ric Flair come out, the Nature Boy, my favorites, and a little history lesson from me to you. My first wrestling match I've ever seen, 1984, Ric Flair and Kerry Von Erich from the David Von Erich Parade were champions. So there you go. Hulk Hogan came out next. It was a long day, folks. Long time watching Monday Night Raw. Hogan and Flair come out. They talk about how they want to get in the ring one more time. And it is official. You are going to have Hogan versus Flair, but in team form. So it's Team Hogan against Team Flair at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. First time they announced the Saudi Arabia event for a long time. So you've got a month to make this happen. I mean, you do got a pay-per-view in like, a week. But you got Saudi Arabia coming up. And they announced the 5-on-5 match for WWE Crown Jewel. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. Team Hogan has Seth Rollins as the champion. And Randy Orton is on Flair's side. So that's very interesting. Interesting to have there. Now, Orton did challenge Rollins to a captain-on-captain match. So they did have a little bit of a match there. And King Corbin comes out. And great. King Corbin comes out and drops Rollins. Rusev comes out and has joined Team Hogan. So Team Hogan is Rusev and Rollins so far. But it's 5-on-5, folks. You don't know who's going to join the teams yet. Next thing we have, and right after that, Rusev says, hey, we're going to have a Universal title match tonight. It's going to be Rollins and Rusev, which people got really excited for. There is a new video from the authors of Pain. They are going to inflict pain and violence onto people. The Viking Raiders versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC. It did not look good for the OC, folks, as the Viking Raiders take the pin in the win over Gallows and Anderson. Also, then we had Rey Mysterio. Charlie Caruso again needs a little personality. She looked at the whole Rey Mysterio thing. Ricochet came out, challenged Cesaro to a match. This was a cluster of nothing good, but Ricochet wins that match, and I'm a little disappointed. They need to push Cesaro. Now, Firefly Funhouse family. I can't even talk today. Firefly Funhouse starts with Bray Wyatt. Rambling Ramit apparently just dies, and Wyatt says, "Okay, well, oh well." So Abigail the Witch and the others are talking about how scared they are for Rollins at Hell in a Cell. Wyatt says, "Don't worry about it, I'll talk to the Fiend." Runs away, runs back, and says, "Nope, I'm not going to do that." And says, the Fiend will always protect the Firefly Funhouse. And Rollins won't be so fortunate. He's going to be defeated at Hell in a Cell. And it might be interesting. I'm interested to see this match. I will do a Hell in a Cell preview as well as a review once they give us some more matches. But this match has a lot going for it, and I'm just interested to see what happens. Who's going to win? WWE United States title match, Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. I wish they would just end this feud right now. AJ can move on to something different. He defeats Cedric, and it's not even worth talking about. So, you had the Street Profits, and they talked about how they're going to go after the Undisputed Era for the NXT titles. Very interesting how they're working that in with the Street Profits being on Raw. I think they might lose on NXT and just stay on Raw. That would be my suggestion. Lacey Evans and Natalya, kind of an interesting match here. Lacey Evans trying to get back after getting all those title shots and not winning a damn thing. I do think Sasha is going to win on the pay-per-view. That will set up Lacey Evans being able to get another title shot, which I think is what they're trying to push for. I like the Sassy Southern Belle thing. She did win the match with kind of a weird deal where a rake of an eye and roll up. Not the sharpshooter. But Evans did hit the women's right onto Natalya. And it looks like that thing is done. Now, when they came back from the break, Vic Joseph talked about John Cena's new partnership with Fitness Ops, which he announced on Ellen to help veterans. While I totally am cool with people helping veterans, I just wish that John Cena would get off the whole WWE train. He's doing movies now, and he's doing B movies that hardly anybody's watching or cares about. And John Cena just needs to go off WWE like The Rock did. He can come back for a one-off where he actually gives a guy a push rather than being such a dweeb. So, good for John Cena to help out veterans. Take the name that he used and abused on Raw and SmackDown and use it for something good for a change. So, good for him. So, Maria is backstage. Says Rusev is not the father of the baby. And then Sasha Banks runs up, takes the microphone, says that Becky Lynch is not man enough to beat her. And Banks says no man will win her match. Interesting. White limo pulls up just in time for the main event. Rusev versus Seth Rollins. They're even going to have this match on Rusev Day. I don't even get that. Why are they doing it on Rusev Day? However, WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins comes out. Rusev comes out. They get the formal ring introductions for a title match, which I always thought was kind of a cool little deal. And then we have the match. We have Orton and Corbin on top of the stage, the brand new stage, by the way, looking good. And then we had that little bit of a match. Then Bobby Lashley comes out and totally sucks up the crowds, whatever, just terrible. And then you have Lana coming out and she hugs Bobby Lashley. Then she kisses Bobby Lashley. Then she makes out with Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley gets some Lana booty. And the lights go out and I'm like, okay, so Rollins, somebody gonna get beat up. And it was Rollins who got beat up. I really thought that it was going to be Rusev, which would have sucked for his character after getting his wife, like, Bobby Lashley was all over his wife. It was terrible. Anywho, Bobby Lashley kisses Lana. Rusev stands in the ring while the Fiend goes after Rollins. And Rusev didn't do a damn thing. So stupid. I hope that Rusev just destroys Bobby Lashley. That's what I'm hoping. So, that has been the Raw review. We've got lots of really cool stuff coming up here on the Scott Show podcast, including NFL picks tomorrow, which we will hopefully come back from a terrible record of the weekend, and the first losing number weekend for a long time. So we are going to be leaving here the Scott Show for this episode right here of the Raw review. You guys have a great day. We'll catch you here real soon on the ScottShow.com.